What age did Jesus die?
33.
33?
Yeah.
That's in one mic.
Yeah.
It says like, yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I love the
education.
song.
Yeah.
So when you were in Iran,
Sliding.
like if you, on your hands, when you see these,
Yeah.
these are the numbers in Arabic too. That's 81, and that's 18. That's 1. That's 8. You have it too. Show you them. I think is it this? I don't know. Oh yeah. Is yours the other way around? No, it's the same.
What's it say?
So it's 81.
Oh,
and
it says the same
18.
in everyone's hand.
It's just the line patterns.
Oh, I thought it was like everybody,
No.
they read your patterns as the age you're going to live to. I was like, yo, check me.
No. In Iran,
Check me out. What am I on?
So it says 81 and 18 on this one. And 81 minus 18 is 63, apparently, which is the age that Prophet Muhammad died.
Ah, mad.
Yeah.
Is that superstition?
Probably. I don't know.
You speak about superstition quite often. It's not the first time. Right, is we ready?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah? Okay. Welcome to episode 14 of Why? 14? 4. What the hell? Wait, what's your day's date? Is it the 14th?
Oh,
Today
no,
is the
watch.
14th.
Yeah, I think
It
it's
is
the
The
14th.
14th, yeah.
Okay, that's
yeah,
excusable
that's why, yeah.
because I thought.
See you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. Welcome to episode 4. And yeah, Katie back again. It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it has been. And today, 2 guests. Actually, we've got guests back to back. And today we've got Nima and Princess. Wow. Prince without the I, aka Azim. What's going on, man? It's been a while. Hi. But no, man, yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
But yeah, like, so today, like, Neems, oh yeah, sorry, man, yeah, welcome too, man.
Yeah,
For the
thanks,
second time in a row, like, you might
He's
as well.
been here.
Yeah,
like,
you might as well be
now,
family.
I
yeah.
feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, this is what majority of the SLAN Collective. 4 out of, is that 8 or 9?
9. No, so not even.
Nice.
So less than majority.
Not even half.
Yeah, not even, dang, okay, so.
How are you going to fight them all when you do one?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna need
With like will, determination, strength, power,
all right, yeah,
and just more mics.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, just get more equipment.
A bigger table. I'm gonna stop.
Well, that's why I was thinking outside.
It will work.
Tent.
Outside would be dope.
Yeah.
See, a tent
Like,
would work, you
it's
know.
like
Glamping.
Glove. Oh yeah, well, you not
Gloves.
come. Okay.
But nah, like, let's see. Today, what did I want to talk about, really? Actually, yeah, I wanted to talk about depression. Sorry to take you on a different...
Whoa. Damn.
Yeah,
Let's
sorry.
go. Let's go.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about depression, reason being, like, someone I know committed suicide.
Oh.
Well, that's what it's concluded as. So it's like, depression, like, how do we... Okay, what is it? Because as far as me and my experiences, I haven't really been in a position to speak much about it, if that makes sense. But at the same time, that's thanks to people like y'all, in the sense of maybe the person who is depressed doesn't have that element or that side of things. So yeah, sorry. So I just
Nah.
completely
Yeah,
switched it. Yeah,
it's a
but like, I
factor,
guess
right?
my question is, essentially, whenever we're having those downward moments, how do you drive yourself out, or at least see the light at the end of the tunnel? Because that's essentially, well, my understanding of it is someone not seeing light at the end of the tunnel. So how do you all get out of it? Yeah.
Just a common thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to go there,
Nah.
but we're here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyone want to kick us off?
Yeah. Anyone, yeah. Princess, you're here now. So yeah,
I'm thinking about it
how
'cause
do you,
Yeah,
it's,
me
it's,
too.
it's different each time
yeah.
because sometimes you're deeper in it than others.
Than
It also
others.
depends on what-
Wait, hold up. What do you mean deeper than others in the sense of other people?
Like if you go through, my depression is a cycle.
Yeah.
Bipolar 2 is a cycle.
Yeah.
So like you have very high highs
Yeah.
and very low lows,
Yeah.
and like each time is different.
Yeah. So essentially, my question is, what's your method of getting out? Because I
But
mean,
that's what I mean. It's different each time because like
Okay.
there's different trigger points. You're at a different phase in your life, sometimes you think you're past it and it'll come back. And
Yeah,
then you're
well,
like,
it's
shit,
like
I'm
a
back in it
cyclical.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the cycles change too, like the triggers of the cycles and what
Yeah.
the cycles contain. And sometimes you think like, is this a spiritual lesson or is this depression? That can be a fine line too. Sometimes you end up in that rabbit hole thinking too much about it and you get even further in it when actually the answer that time isn't a spiritual answer.
Yeah.
It's just let's go outside and meet people. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like that's what I was
Yeah,
going to say. So
yeah.
how does it
Change
meet
of-
the social
Yeah.
side of things in the sense of, does it help or is it just,
It depends again, because like sometimes you need to just go through by yourself. Sometimes you need to link with your homies. Sometimes you need to go out
so
to
full
your
in
club.
spirit?
Sometimes it is a spiritual lesson.
And sometimes it's a spiritual
Yeah.
lesson. Yeah, you just got to go through the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really hard knowing which one it is.
Mm.
Like if it's something you need to learn from, which means you probably need to like isolate and just be by yourself. And sometimes you need other people figuring out which one's which. I feel like it's quite hard.
It's
quite
hard to
hard to do that.
decipher.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
I guess like one hard thing about it is like you can't break away almost from the perspective if you're like fully in it.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just like stop being depressed.
So it's, okay.
So there's
it's-
like an element of hope almost. I feel like.
yeah, because I think it's
gotta be
I think it's
involved
tied in with
sometimes.
faith and hope, in
Yeah.
the sense of faith and or
Yeah.
hope that tomorrow's going to be okay.
Yes, yeah.
But I think it's the, I guess where I'm at is the input of people in the sense of now, okay, because now I think right now we're talking from a perspective of maybe, or at least flirting with the idea of us being the people who are depressed. But like what I'm getting at is, okay, so example, since it's cyclical, how did you get out of that rut last time you were in it? Like I don't, because
Last time,
by the way, don't have necessarily
life,
to go
yeah, but
into
life just
people.
rushed me. Where
Yeah.
like sometimes you just go on like automatic mode because life is moving too fast and you don't have time to reflect and think. And I think at that stage it was too much like stagnation of same thoughts, another cycle of cyclical thoughts, and you're just in that loop. When life just rushes you in that experience, then gets you out of it, and then like, oh shit, I was feeling like that, and you've forgotten because you've just been so busy. So that's
So,
why
like,
it was just.
do you have like a method, like in the sense of like once you realize it, like yo, I think I'm going on a spiral.
Observation.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
do you go into
But
your
that is-
observatory mode
yeah,
and then
that is the
take it
method.
from there? But
Yeah. No, but that is my method because like for me it's, and again everyone's different. There's no one answer.
yeah, that's
my,
true. Yeah,
my
It's
answer
not
is
one
different
size
to other
fits all.
people because
Yeah.
my experiences are different. How I'm built is different. How I see things is different. What even my feelings of depression are different. Like my feelings of depression will
Yeah.
never be like Nima's or yours or Katie's or like or whatever we want to call depression or that level of emotion.
Yeah, because I think we can't necessarily measure it, but yeah.
But then like yeah, I lost my chill thought.
No, it's fine. Yeah, no names like where you like.
Observation is your method. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
observation. Yeah,
100%, yeah. Observation. Like so like the faster I recognize that I'm going in a spiral, the faster I can pull myself out. If I don't recognize it fast enough, then I go in the spiral. But over time and experience, you catch it faster and faster.
yeah, you can identify the.
And for
sort
me,
of,
for me, that's a barometer of like getting better, whatever you want to call that, is that
Yeah.
recognition of it.
yeah,
So observation is the method.
yeah. Then obviously doing something, but you can't just keep observing because the more you observe, you're just gonna be
That's
stuck in observing.
That's true.
Then you're missing the light at the end of the tunnel. But
Well, maybe in observing it, that's when you come to, because you can't really have a method without observing it because you need to know what it wants.
Yeah, there's that.
Because by observing how you feel, you figure out what feeds it. And sometimes what feeds it is to be stagnant and to be like, oh, I'm just chilling. It starts off by like, oh, I'll just take a minute for myself.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, it's like, oh, I've taken a week for myself and I haven't really
right,
done anything.
right,
and then
right.
and then you start realizing that like, oh, it's growing. So what's feeding it? And it's easier said from outside of that perspective. Now when you're in it, it's
Yeah.
like, because everything's happening at once, I feel like you can't really figure it out. But it's a hard question to answer. Like, what's the method? Because they all have like different antidotes. They all have like they all need remedying in different ways. But I start with the first one of like calling it depression or like referring to depression sometimes makes it, that becomes fact.
the label,
Like that's
the-
what it,
yes.
that's what it is now. When sometimes it can be something that you can, if you get it, if you try and like pop that spot quickly, you can kind of get to it more. And then sometimes that term depression, that's been the thing that has crippled me at points, I would say. When I was much younger, but like that term was like, oh, it's a thing now. And now it's like, I don't know, maybe someone disagrees with that, but
No,
that's just how I feel about it. I don't like giving it a name. I just like figuring out what it wants.
No, I completely agree. Because, well, as far as me, I kind of hate labels. Because sometimes once, like, let me say, example, you call it depression. Cool. It's depression. So what are the symptoms? So rather than thinking of a way out, it's almost like I go into a bias confirmation. So it's like, that's why I like refuse labels, because then I'm going to look for the bias confirmation, therefore digging me deeper into the spiral. So labels, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But no, like, I mean...
And it's part of the conversation because labels carry weight.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the way it impacts your...
Yeah.
Well, some people...
Well, it's your perspective.
And... But
well,
for some people, those labels give clarity. It gives something to recognize what they're feeling with. And what you were saying before about the human element, that element also comes in isolation. And when you have a label, then you look at other people, you're like, okay, actually, they feel it too, so I'm not alone in this.
See, now this is what I was talking about, like depression and also social interaction.
Shout out.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? So in the sense of maybe the role that, like, that's why I'm saying I don't really have much of a perspective on it, but maybe it's because thanks to you lot. Because maybe the person who is depressed is in a place whereby they're not necessarily communicating with many people. Or even if you do communicate, because example, the person that I know, it's like, cool, we had a civil relationship, but it's almost as though, damn, like, if you think about it, I never really stopped to actually listen to him going back to how you doing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, maybe the role sometimes that we need to play is to actually just like have time for people. Like, because even that, it changes the frequencies to a certain degree and also gives the element of relatability. Because it's like, so you went through the same thing. Yeah, so basically blah, blah, blah. Then it's like, it develops a new perspective. So therefore giving you the light at the end of the tunnel. Sorry, these have been my thoughts the past couple. Sorry. I'm so I just wanted to hear what y'all actually... Sorry guys, how are y'all doing? Like, how's the mind, body, spirit?
Good.
Yeah.
But just to go back to what you're saying for a second, because like hindsight is obviously crystal clear.
So it's always 2020.
Yeah, and then so sometimes when you say like I didn't reach out,
It's actually 2020. Right?
I know you're constantly always going about your eyesight being 2020. My eyesight is failing me rapidly. Okay, we get it. You got crystal clear, whatever. Anyway, like I was saying, so hindsight. When you're talking about your friend and like reaching out to them and that kind of stuff. Sometimes, like one of the things I feel like depression does is it like cloaks things really, really well. So you could have asked, you could have like had that conversation, and they could have just been like, "Yeah, man, everything's fine." Like sometimes it has a way of being able to like you can like camouflage things. You become a master of disguise with it, where it's like I'm just gonna hide this and gonna keep this to myself. So sometimes even trying to like poke that a little bit and trying to get some
Could drive the
information,
person.
and not even it just strengthens that skill of being able to like disguise how they're feeling. You know, so like it's a really tricky one to know how to deal with it in terms of like asking someone how they are. Because like we said in that conversation, when you ask someone how they are these days, they're usually just like, yeah, I'm fine.
But see, this is where now, like it's going back to what my trainer thought recently. It's be the example you want to see, right? So you're not necessarily trying to instigate information out of the person.
Yeah.
So it's essentially saying you just come to the person with open arms. In the sense of you are not necessarily hiding anything or trying to, it's essentially like, oh yeah, so how's things? Hey, I'm all right. Whenever they ask how I am, now I should be the example I want to see and just blurt it out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So because I think that can be maybe teachable or each one teach one type of thing. So it's like, you know what, maybe that person will then feel like, you know what, it's okay to let my guard down rather than going to instigate, you okay? What happened last night? What did you do? Who hurt you? Like type of thing. It's like, you know what? If they say, how am I? Fam, be ready to listen because I'm going to waffle on. But nonetheless, it's almost saying, you know what? I'm being transparent, so it's okay. You can remove the mask because I'm not wearing one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come see a person, someone's wearing a mask and the other's not. You might feel inclined to be like, to be fair, this is time and place.
I think it like depends on like the person's readiness to want to talk about it too.
Yeah.
Like obviously what you're saying is a good thing to do, I think, to like lay your mask down so the other person also feels comfortable laying their mask down. But I think it also just come down to like how ready someone is to talk about their situation, or if they even want to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But by the way, I'm not saying people should like just blurt out their business. That's
No, but sometimes it would help to do that. But I think like the tricky thing about depression is like, I don't know, sometimes you can't bring yourself to that place. Like you know what to do, you just won't do it. Like you know,
But
like
do you
if you
think
took
you
yourself
know-
outside, like.
But do you
you'd
think
probably feel
they
better.
know what they need to do? Because I think-
Sometimes in my experience, I feel like I've known, but it's just, and then once I've done it, it does change it. Like exercise or journaling or just getting outside, like changing your environment or hanging out with friends, like change. I feel like is good for depression.
Yeah.
It's
But sometimes, like, yeah.
It's like like when you're an addict, like you know you shouldn't smoke, but you still do it. It's the same thing. Like there's a
no relation.
there's a relationship between the mind, body, soul. You know.
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes the body holds
the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, the body holds you hostage.
But no, I guess maybe I was also thinking in extreme circumstances whereby it's like there's actually no light. So therefore you think the only solution is just like, you know what, let me just end this. Not necessarily living in depression, because I feel like that too is a different conversation. Because it's almost as though that one is where you're stuck in the observer mode. But the other one, it's almost like there's no observing, it's a conclusion rather. Like, you know what, that's it. I'm gonna do. So yeah, no, I just wanted to know your perspective on this subject.
I mean, it is such an important conversation because it is everywhere, but
yeah,
it's just hard to talk about, or people feel uncomfortable talking about it.
No, but like,
why do you think that is? Like, why do you think? I know it sounds like an obvious question, but like, why do you think it is a tricky thing to talk about?
Good news.
Yes. It's true because like whenever Sin homie, he was always just chirpy, but at the same time, it's like it's one good news anyway. So I'll tell you I'm good.
Yeah,
that's what you want to know, right? If
there's also a Charles Hamilton bar, you don't know the sadness of a joker, and that line's always stuck with me as well.
that's a good bar.
Yeah.
I think like we're just very attached to positivity too, or like wanting things positive all the time.
But it's because we advertise strength and all this and that, because there's obviously propaganda for that. I'm not saying it's wrong, but then it's like, you know what? If I can't appear strong, like I said, if I can't appear, like going back to the mask, if I'm not wearing this mask, I will not be accepted in, or like, you know what I mean? So therefore, if I can't bear the thought or what I'm going through, I'm just going to quit it now.
Sometimes it's not even acceptance. Sometimes I don't want to burden people with this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's more, that's the when again, the external is not just connecting with people, it's also disconnects you from people, because you're like, I don't want to like make them sad or like give them all my weight.
Yeah.
You know?
But see, to be fair, maybe see, I think I'm borderline on that side of things. Not necessarily that I think of it as weight.
What do you think of it as?
I think of it as just my experiences and those things that I can't control. So it's not really weight. It's actually what am I going to do about it? Nothing. So I might as well control what I can, and the rest is going to unfold how it's supposed to. And
but you have that same ethos as I don't want to burden people. So not necessarily with the weight of it, but like just burden people with what's going on.
Not necessarily. I'm going to tie it in with the previous conversation while I was setting up. It's the secret conversation. I don't think I'm holding any secrets. I don't think I'm holding any secrets from anyone, but there's certain information that's not for anyone. Or like, hence why I also dislike talking about people. It's like, you can call that person a secret or whatever, but it's none of their business essentially. I can only talk about me. And yeah, that's what I was actually thinking, like, it's a secret. That's an interesting one. Because then it's like, why? Why is
we had a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I never know who I'm actually speaking to through this camera, but like we had a conversation about how many secrets do you keep, and it was really interesting.
Let's treat it like a little friend that's sitting over there.
I know, but it's not.
Who doesn't talk. Who just observes. Doesn't say much.
There's a person watching it.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Just in terms of secret keeping, and I took it down the route of how many secrets does someone tell you that you keep, and then you said how many secrets do you keep from other people? It was just this interesting idea of secrets. Because as soon as we had that conversation, I took secrets as like this thing you keep for someone else. I didn't really see it as this thing that you keep for yourself. I think I'm an oversharer anyway, so I would just tell people pretty much everything.
But there's some information, as you said, that maybe is just for yourself.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's the thing.
Parts of your life that
you know what? I guess to elaborate, it's almost like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that information? It's like me giving you something, and like, what am I meant to do with that? Like, do you need it? So why am I volunteering?
But what if you need help?
What if I need help with what? Like,
with how you feel? With how you feel?
How I feel. Well, to be fair, when I don't know how I feel, I just detach and just center myself and try work on the trinity and find the balance, because clearly one side of it is off. And
How do you find out what side of it is off? What is your process?
It's almost as though I evaluate like how whatever I'm doing, what's it based on? Am I doing it because I want to, or am I doing it because I want recognition, or am I doing it because I feel like I have to? So those typically...
What if it is that? What if it is one of those things?
What if it's one of those things?
No, what if it is one of those things?
Oh, what if it is?
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's say... I'll take it from a physical. We'll start with the body, I guess. So, okay, you remember the other... Maybe what? I went to play football for the first time in a while. I felt unfit. Like, that's me identifying like, yo, I'm so unfit. And started running just to get the fitness up. It's almost like I identified that. So it's like any side that I feel like it ain't right. Or if, let me say, I just feel easily annoyed, it's like, what's wrong with me? Why are you getting annoyed? Like, because humans are going to be humans. Why am I investing emotion over anything I can't control? So clearly, yo, what is up? Like, why am I focusing externally? Like, usually happens when, like that. So that's the best way to put it.
At the same time, it helps to talk, no? As you were saying before.
It helps me talk, but at the same time, not everyone's the same. And shout out to you, you said that earlier. Bear in mind, you all have siblings, right? I don't. So it means my formative years or my conditioning, it's been to work it out. Well, not necessarily like I'm being told or I'm being forced, but it's like...
That's just the condition.
Innately, it's just that's my go-to. It's like, okay, whenever, let me say, I'm feeling annoyed or I just feel like the frequencies ain't right, somewhere, somehow, or it's my physical form, it's like I'm just going to detach from everyone and quiet everything down and find my inner self, essentially. And then, well, I mean, I do that quite often. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it be like that sometimes. I just, you know what, I need to quiet everything. I don't need any stimuli, but just being in my crib.
So when you're going through that thing and that trigger point, whatever's triggered those thoughts or those feelings, what do you do with that actual thought? Do you just ignore it? Do you observe it till it disappears? Do you work with it? Do you try and recognize where it's coming from?
I go to the thought and then going back, and then it's almost as though when I go back, it's like, actually, I'm not in control. And the thoughts are only stimulated by whatever's happening around me. Hence why I need to detach from everything. It's like I'm receiving, well, you can argue that I feel like I'm receiving way too much information. I need to quiet everything down. Because it's like, that's happening over there. I'm looking, it's like, oh, next thing, my emotion has to feel some type of way. Or I look that way, oh, like, whoa. Why are emotions getting involved? They are only my senses, like any other sense of touch. So emotions, like, I know what makes me feel good and I know what doesn't. So I live in that realm of what makes me feel at peace. And then find that, and then we're back, baby. That's why.
That's a good method, to be fair. That's a good method.
It's funny because sometimes, like after being ill, I feel like I come back recharged or with a lot more appreciation. Well, I was ill, obviously. But like I spoke to her, I thought, you know what, actually, after recovering, there's an element of appreciation and then I feel good. And it's like, all right, let's go. Like, so yeah, sometimes.
See, how you said it's so articulate and so simplified. And my brain just does not allow that that feature. I have not updated the app at all. Like, I do not have that at all. when you say I look over there and there's something there and there's something over there, I just feel like a snail. Wait, does a snail go back into the shell, or is that a hermit crab? Whichever one goes back into the shell, and that's kind of what you're saying. But you're saying like you detach and then figure it out. I just go back into the shell, put some music on, and I'm just gonna lie down until things have just softened a little bit. Like I just the simplification of how you've just said it. My brain does not allow me to just think in a streamlined way, because as soon as it's overwhelmed, it's like all the synapses have stopped synapsing, and they're just like everything is just like.
But you listening to music is doing the same thing, because you're getting out of it, you're softening things, you're understanding it.
Okay, take it back. I do have okay. But this is why I need people. This is why having that conversation. Sometimes, like how you just. I don't know how you just did what you just did right there, because I would never have connected those two things. I saw that as an issue.
Sometimes like,
right. So it is a conversation. It's like, you can iron out the creases of what I've just said.
You're like, actually, I'm not on my own, because it does make sense after all. Like, it's okay. Going back to depression, sometimes just a different perspective does help.
That's nice,
get out or whatever.
Really nice.
But nah, like.
But then you were saying that like you want to just feel the happiness again. But is that not? But then is that not?
No.
Or you go to that place where you feel happy.
Not necessarily. Sorry, it's not necessarily happiness. If I did say happy, maybe
peace. Right?
Peace. It's a peaceful. Like it's a peace.
It is what it is.
Exactly. Because then, like when you're at peace, you understand that you know what, I can't control that, but what I can is my mind. And what's going on outside, it's whatever I see. So that stimulates where my mind is at. So shut everything and then just look at stuff. And yes, music is a huge thing. Like you heard Nima, my Zen music, it's just so violent. Like that's why I feel at peace. Like it's a weird one.
He was playing your playlist. I was like, what's this? He was like,
like
need Zen playlist. That's what I mean. It was like Tupac,
No, but like that's what I mean. No, it wasn't. No, Bonnie Clyde is not in there. No, but like that's what I mean. It's almost as though like listening to those not necessarily horrible stories, but like it's like seeing
aggressive
those
tales. Yeah,
you see other hard like
it's like you know what, journey. I'm not on my own anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it's like this is part of the human experience.
So you go to the harshness.
Yeah, I go to the harshness.
I mean, this is one
to
thing
remind me that it's okay.
To like specifically about rap and like how it like
relates
to this. I was like talking to my brother about this once. I was like, what I like about rap is, or like a lot of rappers, is that they sort of portray a hero's journey. Like they show like a heroic way.
Yeah.
A lot of them do show like tough situations, and then it's like a way out.
Yeah.
Or it's like with an upwards direction. And like seeing that and like absorbing that can give you hope, because like it shows like a way out of the darkness.
Like once again, it's one of those ones. But this time, it's all going back to the conversation. It's like maybe this time, in my sense, it's like rather than hearing about other people's stories or whatever, when I detach and listen to my music, it's like hearing. This time, I'm just listening. I'm not speaking. So snap! Like, and also the fact that rap or hip hop. You can make a metaphor. Remember Sparks Fly? Like Jenny used to think, it's such a cute song. I'm like, yo, he's talking about his God. Like, wait, what? like that sort of element. It's like, you know what? Like whenever people are like going to hip hop and certain references, it's like you can say whatever word you used. I'll just put whatever I want to trigger in whatever way it fits. And then it's like, all right, then I'll come out of it a lot more inspired sometimes. But it's cool. But yeah.
Nice conversation.
Yeah, didn't mean to take it to depression, but this is...
Yeah, you did.
I did. Guilty! But yeah, no, I did. I didn't mean to, but I did.
Like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You made everyone slightly uncomfortable for a second there, and I really like that.
It's a necessary discomfort.
Exactly.
It should be comfortable.
Exactly.
Like.
Yeah.
It's not a comfortable conversation, but
it's like what you're describing is a powerful way to do it, but sometimes depression is like, it's like a magnet. It just sucks you. And you can go through those periods of observation trying to pull yourself out, but it just sucks you back, and it's just like a loop again and again. You know, and you can do that. You
Finding
can
your power.
yeah. But even then, like, your power's taken from you.
Well, it feels like it's taken from you.
Yeah, feels like but in that moment it is taken from you, because you
believe that it's taken from you.
Yeah.
Yes and no, because sometimes it does. Like when you think about people who are
if it's like driven
to that point of suicide, like a lot of people are so like that they don't feel they have a choice.
Yeah, it's like that's a conclusion.
They don't
for them.
feel that they have a choice. It's like they really
but
believe.
You are what you feel
Yeah.
when you say I am sad.
It's
you
true.
are sad, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm powerless at that moment. You don't have powers.
And then you start believing it, and then you look around you, and it's like, actually, I am. Like,
I'm just thinking, like, what makes I know this is also like a hard conversation, but like, what makes the difference between someone that does make that decision or someone that doesn't, but they both have very similar levels of depression. And I think it's.
But see, we can't measure the similarities.
No, you can't. But I mean, just like being enveloped by your own sort of darkness.
Your own thoughts,
say. Yeah. And I don't know. For me, I could. It's just hypothesizing, but I feel like really believing your thoughts like could push you on that side more than like also not fully believing your thoughts, because you can have dark thoughts about yourself or dark thoughts about everything when you're depressed. And if you were to 100% believe them, then yeah, that would be a terrible reality. But I think it's like the ability to be able to snap out of your thoughts and not take them as seriously. Even between like 100% and 99%. 99% might save you. Like to know 100% believe all your thoughts.
That's why there's kind of like power in the ego, though, isn't there? Because I feel like when you let that, because everyone has it, unless it's just me, everyone has that voice that just says the most dumb shit to you. Which is like, don't wear that. don't go out,
darling.
That's the part.
Like, I don't know who she thinks she is, but like she'll just crop up with the worst. Like,
it's not
about to give a talk, and it's like, you're about to fuck this up. Sorry, we did the lack of swearing. We said we weren't going to swear on this.
Yeah, I think it's been a slippery slope.
Yeah, fuck shit. But that voice in your mind that just says that stuff. When I was younger, that voice used to be like, oh, okay, I'll go change. Okay. Now, I genuinely find, and I'm only speaking from a point of privilege in a sense, that like the journey has been so mad I couldn't be like, oh, well, this happened in my life. But that voice, she can just shut the fuck up. Like, it's on certain days, she's a little bit louder than usual, but most days it's kind of like hilarious. Come on. Like, oh, you're not going to be able to do that. Okay. And I feel like that's the thing that bats that away is ego. Because my ego is like, yeah, I can. Like, we take ego as this thing which is like super negative. But I think if it's balanced right, ego is a thing that just comes to your defense, and it's like, yes, I can. Like, I can do whatever I want to. But without having any of that, if your ego is fully deflated, I feel like that voice wins, which then could push you to that point of being like, well, I guess I am a bag of shit, or I guess I don't have any friends, or nobody likes me. The ego, I feel like sometimes needs massaging. But like, because we take ego as this thing which is a negative thing, I feel like we never really learn how to like properly feed it with intention and without letting it. Yeah, because too much of it, and it's like you're just that person. You're that person at snooker. Too little of it.
That sounds personal. Did I miss something?
Yeah, there's a whole. Yeah. But too much of it, and it becomes you, and too little of it, and you become the voice instead.
Balance is good. Balance is great.
Yeah, but balance. So balance just sounds. Yeah, just find the balance. But it's so hard. It's so hard to find the balance. Once you found the balance, like if you're literally physically balancing. Wait, time out. No, time in. If you're literally physically balancing on one leg, like do you know when you wobble in and then you find the balance and then it's easy. Like then you're just on one leg, easy-ish. The same thing applies, isn't it? Like once you found it, it's easy. But trying to get there, I feel like it's quite a tricky thing. But ego, is important.
I think the thing is saying it's almost like a sense of will, like having a sense of will, like being able to choose. Like what you want to be.
Yeah.
Like, and you say you can call that ego, which I think is nice. Because ego usually is given a negative connotation of like your selfish parts or whatever. But it can also just be who you want to be, who you decide to be.
Yeah.
Which I think, is a nice way of thinking about it.
She's got a big ego.
Is that about something else? Or something?
Yeah, one. Yeah.
Just find it, don't.
Yeah, music. Don't. Yeah. So sorry, I'm stuck on the ego. But see, on a minute detail with regards to the ego helping you get out of certain situations and the depression thing, I think it's losing your sense of self and forgetting what actually makes you happy. Because on a minute scale, as far as me, whenever going through whatever, it's like, actually, you know what made me happy? It's like, okay, going outside shooting, you know what, let me just focus on what I want to do, because then it gives me a sense of control in terms of, it's like, you know what, I'm doing what I want to do, therefore I'm doing what I can somewhat control. Yes, the ego plays a part in that in terms of encouraging, like, yeah, let's do that. But it helps sometimes, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
What was the last moment that everyone experienced that you just felt like, I could bottle this up and just keep this forever as like a little tonic, a little something when you're feeling a bit shit? Do you have that's such a hard question as well, because without a minute to think.
Sorry, I don't think I'm getting the question.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, thanks, Nima. So a moment that was just so like nice.
As in a good moment
that you just want to bottle and just keep it as a little tonic.
Can we smoke?
If you ain't scared of mama saying it, so then it's your business. Like, take it up again.
To be fair, we could pause, think about the answer to that question, chop back
Tonic,
in.
my wife.
But
Nice.
do we
Anything. Anything she goes.
That's heartbreaking.
You know what? Here's the thing. It was too precise. I thought, did I miss a joke? It was too concise.
My wife, anything.
He didn't need to think about it.
Yeah.
No,
I don't. Is there a particular moment? No, I don't think I have one.
Okay. Nima?
I think I've had a few moments, but the thing is,
Think about it.
I've had a few moments where that's been so good that I'm like, I wish I could just I could be this state all the time, like this level of just
Daytimers.
yeah. Daytimers was one of them.
100%. What a night.
Yeah. But the thing is, I feel like even if I would want to do that, I mean, I guess I can't. Well, this is one thing, you can't do that. But the thing is, in the dark moments, I feel like I don't end up thinking about this. So
yeah,
maybe I could.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good way of, but yeah, I've had a few of those moments.
nice.
But that's a good point though, like as in like you can't, as in like then you burn out. It's like acid trips. You just burn out.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like you do too many and you're just burnt. Like you experience those highs and you're like, oh, I want to do it again, I want to do it again. And then that's its own cycle.
True.
Like there's only a certain amount of limit before it gets boring even. Not like, do you know what I mean?
I guess your standards end up maybe raising. Although I don't know.
If you could bottle it up, you would be an addict to that. That's all you would do. You would probably go to work and whatnot. Okay.
I don't have
a bottle up moment. It's not a real thing anyway. Like it's just a hypothetical, a good time.
I've had a lot of good times, but like they're all just like there.
I don't think I have one.
I don't have one.
But so when I was thinking about the answer to this question myself, I don't have one of a memory that like I can recall as like an adult. Like the thing I would bottle up is like me as a kid. I remember having this one water fight and I had a Persil bottle, TM. I had a Persil bottle in my hand and I was just like spraying water out of it, bare toes on the hot. Remember when summer was hot? Yeah, it was hot. And I was just running around the back garden. It's so blurry, like I don't remember it. There's like bubbles in it as well. I'm pretty sure that wasn't real. But I bottled that up. But from being like an adult, I don't have like one thing that I'd bottle up. I just remember hot toes on concrete with a water bottle in my hand.
Hot toes on concrete.
Band name. But like you don't have an answer to that question?
Nah.
Okay.
Just I'm all the way befuddled here. Like, what, am I broken? What's going on?
I think you just live in the reality that you can't do that, so you just don't even.
It's almost like a testament to the fact that you don't feel like you would need that as well. You know what I mean? Like you don't require a.
Not necessarily, because I try to have fun whatever I'm doing. Like that's raw. Actually, I can't think.
Is there not a moment where you just felt like this is peak life?
I feel like what I'm living is peak life for that moment that I'm in, and then it's like right now this is peak life.
So you don't go back. You don't return to memories.
Well, based on this moment right now. No, it is for me. Like, you can question it, but
you only got
it's irrelevant from outside. It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's like, am I doing what I want? Yes. Peak life.
I mean, memories are kind of fake. Like, there are images.
Yeah,
like, they're
100%.
not the actual life. So.
But I'm sure there's moments you felt down and you're like, nah, this isn't peak life.
Yeah, there are those moments, but those moments, it's like for me, I think they're more so humbling than anything. It's like being like when I was ill. Funny enough, I actually just chuckled to myself. It's like, you know what? Well, sometimes I perceive being ill as just like a way of like someone saying, relax a minute, chill.
Nate had COVID.
Oh yeah, I did.
COVID done fuck me up.
Oh man, COVID done big time. So yeah, like it was like I just laughed in the sense of, wait, have I been flat out? Snap, got me. Oh well, life is one funny mother.
Yeah, but like, hate to bring it back again, but like when you were sick, and you were feeling down, you weren't thinking this peak life. In retrospect, you recognize that.
I was thinking, yo, this is shit. I want to get
exactly. So it's not always peak life.
In that moment, right? Okay, so then you're there.
So there's a comparison here, is what I'm saying.
Where would you have gone to? Like in a previous moment before, like a memory or something that you've been. Where would you have rather been?
Whatever I wanted to do that moment, which was maybe get up, take my laptop, edit, or like it's. The inability to do what I want.
But the question,
I'm like
what you're answering is beautiful, stunning.
The
question is, if so, you're lying there, COVID. And then a wizard comes into the room and says, "Okay, here's a time machine. You can go back to a moment, and you can just relive that for a second, wherever you choose, wherever you want to go."
Would that even help?
A moment before getting ill.
Oh no!
A moment before I got ill.
Sick as a dog.
Before I got ill, no.
So just before you got ill. The moment before you got ill.
It's like that's the thing though. I even
was that the answer?
I try. Okay, if I try and break, like that's what I mean.
Like the next closest.
It's like
the day before.
Yeah, because I was feeling like I don't. Yeah, no, there isn't a specific moment.
So
like, I know I'm gonna go there, but it's like I'd rather not be ill. That's it. That's all I'm essentially thinking about. But ultimately, I end up I can't control it, so I have to laugh at it in the sense of
control it.
I guess I'm getting set down.
No, but I guess actually it could be useful, you know. It could be useful to have a glimpse of like when you're really down, to have a glimpse of a time you were really high.
But that's also the part of the mind, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Like maybe it could be, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But also there's probably danger in like being too sentimental and like always comparing.
Because it's never going to be as good as that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be
I
as
feel
good
like
as
that's
that.
where the side that your side makes the most sense because
there's
no
power
need
in
being
what you're
sentimental
saying.
about.
And that's where the power comes from what you're saying because you're not sentimental about things that have already happened.
Yeah.
You're just being actively present,
Be
which
present,
means you're putting like 95% of your energy into like now, whereas I'm like hot toes on cement as a little child with a bottle in my hand. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of like, I don't know, but that memory is like, I feel like it's the first memory I ever have. And it's the one I will just constantly go back to. So some of me is constantly there. Whereas like a lot of you is here and then we scatter ourselves across memories, maybe. But you don't do that. You go back to the day before COVID.
Yeah, like once again, it's like, you know what, while I'm here, while I'm ill, then I don't have much control over it. Mm-hmm. So the only thing is, I guess I was being sad. That was me trying to find a positive in that. It's like maybe I have been flat out, maybe I need to chill before I burn out. Mm. So maybe this is a way of telling me to relax a second. Yeah. Then I guess I'll be back. Once again, when I got better, it's like, all right, sweet, I'm on it again. I feel good about whatever I'm doing and inspired to do what I want. That's cool. So yeah, peak life. That question fucked me up still.
Smoke a break?
Yeah.
Sure. Actually, you know what? Rather than that break, I think we might end it here.
Oh.
Before, sorry. Well, that's what happens when you record on weekday.
No ways at the time right now.
It's probably been around an hour.
Does peak life not give you hope?
That's what I guess what I live on. That's the peak life. Like that's what I'm in the.
Okay, but your hope derives from the next moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like.
Yeah. Well, your hope derives from the past.
Yeah.
Because you were saying, yeah. But that's it's still taking you to the same place.
Yeah.
It's cool to be able
but
to
there's a future in the
both.
past. Yeah. That's Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have loads of memories like that though, which I feel like
I'll
have
give
been
us
peak
one.
life. Barcelona Primavera Festival.
Oh, you
walking
bitch.
like in the festival, super comfortable physically, like shorts and
Nice.
shirt was open.
Was there hot toes and concrete?
No, I was wearing shoes.
So did you have a pistol? Did you have a water pistol? No.
Not peak life then.
Just man.
But if we went through this, there's probably a theme of sun in all of this.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
probably a
sun.
heat.
There's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
sun, yeah.
Have you got another one?
I do have another one. Walking on the beach. Like, actually, there was another one, walking on Formby Beach in
Nice.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a nice beach.
I think in
I
2020.
want to shoot there, actually.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's good.
Especially on the June. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think it was 2020, so like pandemic year. And yeah, we just went with some friends. ZZ, David, I don't know who else was there, but you guys were definitely there. We're drinking wine. There was like sunset. It was in the summer, and like you could see the sunset so clearly. The water was clear. We were walking on the beach, like in the water. So wet toes on the beach.
Ooh, we had a whole beach.
Nice,
Damn.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, sipping wine. And that was one of those moments. Yeah, for sure.
Peak me.
Repeat me.
Wife.
I mean, he was very concise at the start.
Wife.
Wife.
Right, so
Oh, yeah, that is
past
true,
the
that is
one
true.
wife.
Yeah.
2, making music, specifically with Will or Nifo, and 3, playing any sport.
Yeah.
That's my peak life.
Nice.
Any sport,
sport's fun.
yeah, especially like basketball in the sun in the court, and everybody who's there is just good vibes.
Yeah.
You know, football with your boys, like
What's like one of your best sports memories?
too many, man.
What's like near the top?
You just slightly
There's-
lowered the question.
There was one time I was like 14 playing for, like, I was meant to play for the seconds that day. It was cricket. I was meant to play for seconds, and then one of the first players dropped out, so they came and picked me up from my ground and took me to the first game, and it was like a full crowd. It was a cup game, and I was like shit. Do you know what I mean? I was like 14, but I batted like 11th, and I got like a quick 20 orange, which was sick. And then we were losing, and then I got given the ball, like, because they thought we were going to lose, and I got 2 quick wickets, and then we put the pressure on them, and then it was like it got down to basically they needed 2 runs to win. They had one wicket left, and I was fielding the cover, and the batsman was like here, and he hit a cut, and I stopped it with like one hand, and then like they were running in between, like stopped, and then another guy picked it up and threw it and hit the wickets, and we won. And then I got carried in shoulders, all sorts.
Did it feel like it was in slow
I felt
mo?
like I was a man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a sick
14 years
moment.
old.
Yeah, that was like my first moment in like especially cricket where I was like, yeah, I'm pretty good at this. Do you know what I mean? That was sick.
Peak moment.
Yeah.
What was just a nice moment? I'm still going to try just one like my
All
my
right.
last attempt.
Sorry. I was
Just
thinking of a
nice-
princess. Cause,
Just
sorry.
a nice moment of like.
No, because I used to hate on him playing cricket. Like every time he plays, like, not cricket again, dude. Like,
I used to, love that shit.
like,
I used to play like 5-6 games a week in the summers.
I want to hang out. You know, like, I'm playing cricket. No, like that's what I'm like. That's what my mind goes like. Oh, I couldn't see this brother for weeks. Like,
He's forming some of his best memories.
I mean, what I'm like, like damn. But no. So what? Sport. What?
Yeah,
Just the
let's
same
go
question.
sport. Yeah.
Ooh, I played quite a bit of sport. So we can start in school. School, I was quite quick on my feet. So school competitions, I think I broke the school's record on 200 meters and 400 meters.
Nice.
And is it 4x1, 4x2, the relay?
The relay.
Yeah. That. What else?
Did you have sports day though?
Yeah.
Do you remember it? Like, what was it? What was the vibe? Like, what was the energy like? Was it nice?
Oh yeah, it was nice. But it's funny because in school, there was this other dude who could play ball, who could play football, and I'd like to think I was decent. But like we always just clashed for some weird reason. And he was also like even any sort of sport except for basketball. We just, I think I was competitive, he was competitive. That was basically
There was
it.
a light-hearted rivalry in the air.
Somewhat. Yeah. But yeah, so that's in school. Oh yeah, also scored a hat trick. School's like a football thing. That was fun. And then playing in the stadium The Oval.
The Oval.
Yeah, the Oval for.
I played at Windsor.
And the sportsmanship is
No, so yeah.
Nice.
Where's the Oval?
It's a stadium, Glentoran.
Yeah, Clinton. Yeah,
nice.
when like it was a cup final, and we won the cup, so that was nice. Yeah, there's been a lot of football moments that like scored dope goals.
And what about moments that were just aesthetically pleasing?
Moments that are aesthetically
Every time
pleasing.
in the court. Go on.
The
court.
Basketball.
It's like, okay.
Aesthetically pleasing.
Nice.
Interesting question.
Oh, majority.
I guess,
to be
yeah.
honest.
Of the memories.
Sorry, like, oh my, like, I feel like
Like the same ones.
You just said majority of them.
yeah, I can't.
Of all of your memories of all time.
Yeah, I think all of them were pretty dope.
Thank you for watching the
No, like, I can't think of a specific.
Yeah.
The good quality of the memory sort of gives it a good aesthetics too, no?
Yes
You
and
know
no,
what I mean?
because in sports you can play with nice aesthetics, like you can make it sexy, or you can just be like, you know.
But memory is so fickle that like you can easily just picture something. You can make it nighttime. You can make, do you know what I mean? You can like sort of add into the memory yourself. You can, but and there was the moon was
romanticize
orange
it
as
too.
well. Like you can alter them in your mind as well. I think memories are. It's maybe for another time. But I think memories are almost like a dangerous thing because you can just fabricate it however you want it to look
You
like.
want the side of memories here.
100%. But you just got to pepper in a little bit of darkness there as well. It can be like, you know, you can really misremember stuff.
You're right.
People with crystal clear memories actually like scare the shit out of me.
Photographic memory.
Oh, too much. Sorry, aesthetically.
Sorry, I keep getting left in the other conversation and just think like, photographic memory. Let's see. Oh wait, might have those moments, but we shall reveal on another day, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe that's a secret, or maybe I just don't want to tell you. It's not a secret. It's
Your
just I don't want to
photographic
tell
memory.
Not anymore.
Not necessarily. Yeah,
What was I
somewhat.
wearing like 4 years ago when I was at your house?
No, I'm not saying I have. No, I'm talking my experience. It's
It's not every moment.
Didn't give a date.
Damn, like just one thing. But no, like that's
ChatGPT over here.
You should have just said like red
So
shirt,
do
blue
you,
shoe.
so do you capture things as a photo in your mind? So when you remember things, it's a photo or like a moving still or like a video.
Still, it's not moving, is it? I guess it depends, but mostly I'd say yes. Because I think we've had the conversation is that sometimes, or when I'm in the self-assessment, because I feel like it will fit on that, it's almost like I'm observing self. So it's almost like that's almost the memory or the sort of perspective I can see that.
So you're seeing yourself?
Yeah.
Do you dream? So I feel like this is like just some sort of like analysis.
Do
at
I
this point.
dream?
This is super interesting right now.
I forget my majority of my dreams.
Well, when you dream, do you dream in real life? Do you dream in cartoon? Do you dream in?
You know, in real life.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, in real life, because.
I would dream in cartoons all the time.
Do you?
No, okay, wait. Like the reason for it.
You dream in cartoons?
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I used to think that was really, really normal, but apparently it's not.
Like exclusively
That's
cartoons.
nice.
Exclusively.
That's so dope.
Yeah, that's
not any of it is real.
What do you look like as a cartoon?
I have no idea.
Tell us way more about this.
I have no. Oh, really? I have no idea what I look like in cartoon, but it varies between the different genres of cartoon as well. And I've been writing about it, but I think it's to do with like how you fall asleep, like the mood you fall asleep in depends on how it actually feels. Because sometimes it's like pop art as hell, so there's just lines all over the place. There's texture all over the place, and then sometimes it's to the point of like a really high, like you've done it on Blender or something like that. Sometimes it's like really, really animated, but it's never real.
It's never realistic.
No, never.
So
never.
do you still get the feeling that it's real though?
100%.
But it just doesn't look real.
And then when you wake up, it takes a minute to be like,
That's so sick.
okay, right,
That's pretty dope.
But when I was a kid, I used to think that was how everyone used to dream. Until I
You
realized
should write your dreams down.
I absolutely do.
Huh.
There's a very long list of dreams that I have, and so if it's a nightmare, which rarely ever happens, Oh, it's a mess. It's not nice at all because anything can, it could be, like anything can happen in it because it's not real. So you're just in a game the whole time. It's not very nice. But everything else is.
Did you watch a lot of cartoons?
Oh.
No. Like not particularly, but I used to watch my brothers play PlayStation all the time. And I used to play myself, but I just think watching that, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Do you ever try control yourself in a dream?
Yeah, speaking to my brother about this because he taught himself to fly in a dream. We're quite obsessed with dreams. My brother taught himself how to fly, and he also taught himself how to. What was that thing? You like hit a door frame every time you walk into your bedroom. If you touch the door frame, because his dreams tend to start when his dreams start in his bedroom a lot. Not like literally, but like the whatever happens will start there. So if he touches the door frame and he can't touch it anymore, then you know that you're in a dream instead of it being. One, I forget to touch the door frame. Two, I never ever think. Every time I wake from a dream, I was like, I should have tried to fly. But like, and just never. I don't think I have any control over what's happening. I'm just in it.
To be fair, I try to control myself, and to be fair, like one way of, like similar to your brother. Well, not similar, but like him touching the door frame or whatever. My way, it's almost like, where can I go? Can I change the scenery? If I can, it's like, well, yeah.
Are you aware enough to do that? Are you like?
But sometimes, not every time.
Like I have my moments. Yeah, like sometimes like, oh snap, I'm going to do it. Sometimes I just pass out, just wake up like that this morning. But like I do try that.
I've only had
it is
twice.
fun sometimes.
Lucid dream I've only had twice. Like where
mate.
Where I've gained awareness and then I've tried to manipulate.
I've
only had twice in my life.
How did that feel? Was it cool, scary?
No, it was fun. It was fun.
Okay. No, I like lucid dreaming. I feel like that thing happened to me once. I did not like it. Well, not that I didn't like it. It was unexpected.
Like just gaining awareness.
Yeah, but this was different.
Are you talking about sleep paralysis? Is it the same
sorry.
thing?
The sleep paralysis. That's what happened to me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that like that messed me up. Because at first I thought I was in a dream, and then like once again, where can I go or like move a limb? I felt like I couldn't. I just couldn't do anything. Like, no. If I'm dreaming, I should be able to at least. Like the fact that why does it feel so uncomfortable? Like that one that wasn't fun.
So in that moment, if you had a memory to go back to, I'm joking.
How did you get out of that moment, or did it just pass?
I feel like there was an element of thinking, oh fuck, okay, you know what, and then it passed, type of thing. Because it's like, whoa, and then it's like, okay, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's gone up. It's kind of like being on shrooms. Because I feel like the first time I took them, it was like, whoa. You know what? No, it's fine. Just write it out.
Yeah.
Like that kind of soothing self or soothing thought. Like, you know what? It's all right. Let's write it out. Don't fight it. Don't fight it.
Like quicksand.
Yeah, don't fight it. Don't fight it. Just breathe. But yeah, I think we're gonna cut it there. Unless we have,
You should
lucid dream, people.
You should draw your dreams.
There are hot mess though news.
I would love to see
the
aesthetics of your dreams.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So you think of photos, and you're a photographer, and you think in texture, and that's what you do as an art form. It's pretty cool. What do you? Sorry, I know you're trying to cut this.
No.
What do you?
Most of my dreams are realistic.
Just hears
What do you
voices.
think of? Like, you know, when you have memories.
He's a word.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, what do you mean?
Memories is the photographs, is the words, and even dreams. So most of your dreams are realistic.
Most of my dreams are realistic.
Do you ever get your textures, lines,
Actually,
and
always realistic? No. My dreams, I don't really get like art. It's just like life situations. But sometimes it can be very surreal or whatever. But yeah, it's just realistic life situations. But it's not always realistic though. But
how frequently do
I
you
mean,
dream?
like the style of them is realistic. I can dream every night, like as long as like I'm not ingesting anything that's stopping me from dreaming.
Nicely put.
so like more.
He's like, well, it's not true.
Nah, but yeah, I can dream quite vivid dreams.
I did want to.
Yeah. And I think just videos, memories, like I see them like as videos, I think. Your family like animation, so maybe that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you just see words?
Yeah, pretty much.
You see words?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you?
Like as for your
Like
movies?
everything, just words, and then it's the image, but it's usually just words.
What do you?
But I dream in like visuals though, and it can be anything like. But then like when I think of memories or when I think it's just words.
Really? Okay.
But it's not like words. Like I'm not seeing
Yeah.
words. I'm just thinking words.
So this like
I know.
crooked
I
memory
know
that
what
you
you
said, like this
mean.
crooked memory that you said, like did you have words that you got first as opposed to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
images?
yeah. It'll be the words and then the images. It'd be like a sentence of what happened, and then be like, oh, this is what it looked like.
So you formulate the memory
Yeah, yeah.
Wordsmith.
in your mind first,
Yeah,
wordsmith,
yeah.
and then
I said it as a joke, and it came out to be true. Like I was thinking, how words
We had a
don't have
workshop
words.
about it.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation.
I bet he just dreams of words.
And then boom, yeah, he does. It's real.
Nah, dreams are words. Dreams are always
Memories
visuals.
are words.
Memories.
Yeah.
And everything else is words.
God, that's such an
Yeah.
interesting point of conversation though, because what is a memory? What is it? This hazy looking, do you actually remember what someone was wearing? Do you remember?
I guess the way you store information,
Yeah.
or like you store experience.
Have you seen
Words.
Inside Out before?
Yeah.
Wait.
So sick.
The Bo Burnham thing.
No, it's
No, but that is
That's
another
called Inside
thing.
Out.
Yeah.
No, it's the Disney
called
animated
Inside.
thing.
Oh, okay.
And like
Right.
all the emotions are in this girl's head and it follows
haven't
this
seen it.
character and like it's just like it visualizes memories and like storing information and like what happens to discarded memories. It's a heartbreaking film to be fair, but it's really well done. I'd never seen memories visualized before and it's like my go-to to like to try and see that, but they keep them as these little like orbs, these little ball things, and as she ages and things get less important, then things just get discarded. And where was I going with this? Watch Inside Out. Is that
Yeah.
yeah, just visualizing memory is like a really interesting thing because how we store information.
To be fair, it kind of, well, it's not the same, but there's a different show. I don't know if you've heard of it. This Is Us. It's basically like just three triplets, and then they grow up, go through whatever experiences, but every time they tell a story about their memory, it's kind of told from their perspective, but then it's the change that, like, in between all three of them, they recall same events differently.
Is it a documentary or is it?
No, it's actually a series.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very good. It's on Prime. But yeah, it goes back to like the memory. Usually it's actually just connected to the emotion that you felt.
Yes.
So that's why I'm going to tell it from that perspective. But really, so
on the lens, right?
Yeah, so like one of the things was they thought they had I think it was a cake fight or whatever, but really there was actually conflict in the house. Well, like one of them was like, you know what, it was a fun time, we're playing, blah, blah, blah. The other one was like, yo, I was going through it. And then Fem's like, wait, what? It was actually the opposite of what they saw. So yeah, memories played
But
different
we're only like tapping into a tiny little bit of it. Like, do you know if you hear a piece of music and it just takes you back immediately to
for me
somewhere
it's
that you
usually
know, or you
a
smell something
For me,
and
it's
it
a
takes
smell.
you back, or like
Smells definitely do.
Yeah.
yeah. Because like I don't know how many different types of smells that humans have, but I feel like humans don't have that many different types of smells. I know we're getting off, we're going off on a weird tangent now. Well, sometimes I'll smell someone, not intentionally, not actively, but you know, you just smell someone. It's like, oh my god, that smells like my friend from when I was like 10, and that's like her house used to smell like this. No, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for
Cool.
sure.
Yeah, no,
Smells
Yeah.
so
It's a
deep,
smell of
the
family,
memories.
like, familiar
And
smell.
that's
It's
just the
like,
shit
whoa.
we know about how to tap back into your memories, because there's got to be other things as well. I mean, photos do it too, but like, I don't know, I just think there's got to be other ways of tapping into it that would literally be like, whoa, like that's
Tastes
what happened.
can do it too. I
Taste?
mean, I guess, yeah.
I feel like I'm absolutely promoting Disney, but then you know that scene from Ratatouille, you know, and, you know, he eats the bit of Ratatouille at the end,
Yeah.
and it just takes him back to being a kid, and then he's nice again. Memory.
We all need to be kids.
Oh, keep
Toes in
it
the
in a
sand.
kid,
Yeah, or
Toes in
just
the concrete, right?
Ratatouille,
toes on concrete.
toes on a hot concrete.
Toes on hot concrete.
To be fair, kids tend to just focus on the moment. And maybe Christmas. But really, it's about right. Yo, like, no, Christmas is one of them. It's like, ooh, come for Christmas. But like, in the sense
they do,
of
like,
it's just the
That's why they're
moment.
so fun to play with.
Yeah.
It's just the moment. Like, anything else is not that deep. Don't sweat it. But
Yeah. Unless they want some and they fall and they're like, usually they'll be fine, but they're like, oh, I feel a wee bit hurt, so I'm gonna cry, so I get a hug, or oh, I want a sweet, or oh, I want a plaster, you know.
So they just learn manipulation. Sometimes it is the plaster. Don't get dinosaur plasters because I want one. I want one of both elbows. Just get the regular ones. Get the ones that don't even match my skin tone. Get those ones.
I never could get one that matched.
You can these days. You can now.
It's been a while since I had a boo-boo. Trying to think. Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, well, I'll get you some plasters.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So there was so many moments where we could have ended this and it would have just been like so seamless, but we're going to end it with, I can't remember the last time I had a boo-boo.
Yeah, no, I can't stop there. So actually, no, I know where we're going to say, where we're going to end it. And to be fair, I thought you would have remembered it. But yeah, actually, what's the song that's been resonating amongst y'all this week? Or the past couple of days?
So many songs this week. I've been listening to so much music.
Such as?
Let me check. I actually found this Muslim piece of music. I think they call it nasheed, which, forgive my ignorance, but I actually don't know what a nasheed is. But it's technically not a song. That's what I've heard.
So what is it?
It's like it's when they sing in remembrance of God or Allah, and like it's without instruments.
Almost like a chant, I guess.
No.
Hey, I've been on this path.
No instruments, no.
Thanks, Wazim.
So this one's called Fatat al-Khair or Khair
What that
Nasheed.
means?
Not even sure what it means, but I think it's some sort of ode or praise to the feminine or girls or women.
Okay, the divine feminine.
Something like that. Sorry. But yeah, Fatat, so F-A-T-A-A-T-A-L and then K-H-A-I-R. It is on Spotify, but that song has been playing for me all week.
Nice.
And it just sort of
How's it make you feel?
taken me over. Very peaceful and powerful.
Fun Jazan.
Oh, that's lovely.
Powerful and peaceful, like powerful first and peaceful, but like, yeah, amazing.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
Too many, I don't know what to say.
Pick two.
One that would summarize, yeah.
Social interaction, slice of bread, listen to it. Prince the and I'm coming out soon.
Okay.
All right. All right. If I had to pick a few for this playlist, Angel Lil Sim, shout out, dope album.
Is that the new album?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just a great song.
What's it
Cheers.
about?
A lot of truth in it. It's just
Nice.
her on her come
She's
up
in truth.
and like where she is and her reflection on industry and all that kind of stuff. It's like 4 really, really dope verses, really dope beat.
Yeah.
Mac Miller, I always go back to him, be listening to Swimming again. The Secret Souls, very dope, hippy dippy music.
I love when you say hippy dippy music.
And then there's one song that Udoa showed me, Do You Love Me by the Ben Daly family. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, but they sing like an English song in like, it's similar to this, like in a Islamic way, as in like in Arabic, it sounds like they're singing Quran, but they're singing English.
Oh, nice.
All right,
It's
okay.
very dope.
Okay.
I did a little jiggle to it earlier.
All on the hips.
On the hips.
Or on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, social interaction, slice of bread, fits like that on them.
Okay. Yeah, well, actually, I haven't seen you in a while anyway, so yeah.
How are you?
Oh, well, no.
I'm joking.
40 minutes later, I'm still here. But yeah, like, since I last seen you, a lot happened, right? So yeah, go on. Which you been listening to?
Okay, so me and Prince had a musical evening the other evening,
was
which
amazing.
was so
Very beautiful.
nice. It was so nice. We just went YouTube surfing. It was bloody lovely. And we were listening to, what's that lady's name? The lady with the raspy low voice who sings.
She's my Sufi mother.
Yeah, she's
Abida
all our
Parveen.
Sufi mother.
Abida Parveen.
Say again.
Abida Parveen.
Her. So she is just we're going to put a little.
Yeah, we've got to have
Okay,
something. Don't worry.
She has just changed my world. Like, I absolutely love her. Her voice is just the ultimate form of soul.
It's
It's so
amazing.
feminine.
Is
But
it
it's
better
so-
than
It
Mariba's?
holds eternity out.
Yeah, it does. It does. It
yeah.
holds
Is it
everything.
better than Mariba's though?
I mean, like, I'm going to be biased because I'm going to say that our language is a lot richer and how she sings it.
It's because there's a connection to it.
I'm going to say,
not just that, though.
No, I'm not saying it's just that.
Because it is also religious music, so you know, it's a different style.
It's a different ballgame.
Yeah, it's got a different type of depth.
They're both
it's not just ability.
Yeah, it's hard to compare. You're right.
Yeah,
that's been a beautiful. That was a music.
No, it's because you mentioned the voice, so I thought, okay, so wait, are we gonna?
Yeah,
it is an incredible voice, though, in terms of the notes she can hit and her range that she has.
Yeah, the range is
ridiculous.
Sick.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Beautiful. And then just straight up, I have been butchering this song off the Zoinkies. Is it Jid or is it J?
I can say JD.
Jid just sounds.
Say what you want.
Do you know where it comes from?
No.
Well, according to him, it comes from his grandma used to say he was always jittery, as in moving around a lot. That's why it's.
That's really nice. That's how he does
so it is Jid, not JD.
So it's Jid. I told you. That track feels like it goes on for about 9 minutes because there is that much going on in the track. But it's like, was it 2 minutes?
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes. Oh, stop it.
Sorry, that was in my head. Sorry.
No. With that song and that video and that collection. Just means that, it's just a pre-work warm-up in it, like just a pre-match walk, and then you just walk into work. And it's like I'm away, like I'm here. All right, love it. I'm killing it though. So I reckon I've got until the end of this week before I don't like that song anymore. It's like I'm doing
just rinsing it.
Yeah. What about you?
I've been on my Zen music, to be fair.
Nice. So it's been violent.
Flutes.
Angry rap.
No. I sleep to flutes, just soothing sounds. But yeah, it's been just the ignorant music. Yeah, that's essentially the best way to put it. Let's see. Do I have an example? Well, I mean, you mentioned Tupac earlier, but right now
you've got this guy on Pac.
Early exit.
I was gonna say, shout out Tupac. That song, "Who Do You Believe In?" That's
Who do you believe in?
Man,
so that's what I'm.
I repeated that song so many times.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that was a gem.
Yeah,
like I discovered that song for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Oh really? Oh okay. Oh,
such a gem.
Welcome to my Zen life. So yeah, I'm glad it resonates. Yeah.
Great song.
But yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm on. That was a nice closer. I've been on the Zen music because, like I said, I was on So who do we believe in? Brings me back to life, going back to depression. I'm chirpy again.
Nice.
And gentlemen, for real though, thanks for joining us.
God damn.
What did you forget?
Oh, thanks for joining us. Sorry, I'm sorry. I was so rude. I was like, I'm not a man. Sorry, carry on.
Why are you on high alert? Like, waiting to be offended. Like, here's the thing. If I do offend you, it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, I know.
But
until it was.
But thanks for letting me know. But you're good though. But yes, gentlemen.
Love.
It's been great.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And
thanks for the conversations.
It's been good. Another one down.
Good night.
But we might need to be a bit more consistent with it. But we're here.
Yeah, life happened. Life is life.
Oh yeah.
Shout out, be consistent.
There we go.
Release that song.
Yeah, when you get new music. We're gonna cut it here before you start. Yeah. But we need more music.
Don't worry. I'm music for days. I am music.
I am music.
He
as long as you're my homie, you get it every time, bro. You know.
That's facts.
But no, for real. Thanks, gentlemen. Hope you all had fun.